Happy to see you on a video again. It's been a while.
Yeah. Oh, God. Is that a Christmas mug?
Lower Seacourt, man. Canada's finest chocolates, you know?
Okay.
Shout out to Lower Seacourt.
Absolutely.
So, tell them what we're doing today.
We're going to talk about what if Jose Aldo beat Conor McGregor. Big topic.
So, everybody seems to be liking these what if topics, and you brought this one to my attention. This wasn't the first MMA one I was thinking of, but this is better than what I was thinking. This is an amazing topic. I've been thinking a lot about it, and there's just so many storylines that come off of this one fight. Mm-hmm. So, start us off. Give us a little bit of background on how that fight came about.
All right. So, Jose Aldo was just like how it came into fruition. Well, Conor was the main guy at the time, won the interim championship. And really, it's not how it came into fruition because we knew how it did play out, but it's how it changed the landscape of MMA for the future, and not just in Conor's career, but everyone's career. We're talking people from Daniel Cormier to RDA to Nate Diaz, all these people's career. You can even go as far as Jorge Masvidal. They're all going off these names because Nate Masvidal, that's another one. I just feel it was more pivotal than people look at, because if Aldo would have won that fight, we wouldn't have got a Floyd Mayweather. We wouldn't have got a championship. We'll go into those things. We wouldn't have superstars. Yeah.
So back in 2015, well, let me get the date real quick. December 12th, 2015, Conor McGregor challenged Jose Aldo for the unified featherweight championship. So Conor was already a champion because months before that, in October of 2014, months before that in 2015, Conor fought Chad Mendes for the interim title. So if Jose Aldo had have beaten Conor, I don't believe we would have saw Jose fight at featherweight ever again. If you take a look at his resume, he has wins over Chad Mendes twice, Frankie Edgar, he beat
Cub Swanson.
Yep, Ricardo Lamas, Cub Swanson, Chan Sung Jung, a.k.a. Korean Zombie, Kenny Florian, Mark Hominick, Uriah Faber, like you said, Cub Swanson, like just everyone. There was no one left in that division for him to beat other than Conor McGregor at that time.
And just for coming off my other videos, so you say that Jose Aldo didn't beat good competition. There's a lot of people right now that are saying Chan Sung Jung should be fighting for the belt. So how did he not fight ranked competition when he's beating people who are even present contenders? Just throwing it out there.
He's beaten so many world champions. Uriah Faber. Oh, shit. COVID.
Oh, shit. I saw Tiger.
Frankie Edgar. Like, I mean, he's beaten everybody, man. Like, it doesn't matter. You name them from 145, he beat them. The only fight that was left for him at that weight division at that time was Conor McGregor. So if Conor loses that fight, in my opinion, the likely option is you'd see Jose move up to 155, because he talked about years before going up to challenge for the belt against Anthony Pettis.
Absolutely. So who would he have at the time? Who was the champion? RDA, or would it be Eddie Alvarez? Probably RDA.
So at that time, RDA won the belt off of Pettis in March 2015 and defended it December 19th against Donald Cerrone. So the weekend after Conor fought Aldo.
So we likely would have seen him fight RDA in probably a Brazil card. Wouldn't be huge numbers because it would probably be about 250K, I'd say. It's okay because he wasn't a draw, and that's the big topic of this thing. Even though he wasn't a draw at the time. Aldo at first wanted to always go up a division, but he didn't want to give away his featherweight belt, just so people know. He argued with it.
Right.
Dana White wouldn't do it. And that was because he wasn't a big star. Because when Conor did it, he had no problem. So we're looking at the champ would not have happened in that case. And in that case, is a huge step because Cormier it just wouldn't be a thing, in my opinion. Your thoughts?
So, like Brady just said, for Jose to be able to leave the weight class and go to 155, Dana would have been like, okay, we can't hold up two divisions. You have to relinquish your belt and move up. Because Conor McGregor was such a big star when he won that fight, he used his leverage to tell the company, no, I'm going to hold on to this at least until I win that belt so I can be a two-division champion for a split second. So that because of that, the whole champ thing was born. If Aldo beats Conor, we don't see that champ thing. And just run us down a list of notable champs that have come since Conor McGregor.
So we're going at Amanda Nunes. We got Henry Cejudo. We got Daniel Cormier, Ryan Bader. So this didn't even go from one company. It went to Bellator. It happened in one. I don't know. Brandon Vera did it. I know that, and a couple other people. There was a Canadian, I'm pretty sure, that just won the women's championship 2 divisions.
Risen.
Right now. Horiguchi. And there's also cross promotions now because people want to be champ that way. So there's just different ways about it, and it's a huge marketable thing that happened, and that was because Conor made it that way. And another thing too is Nate Diaz was never a huge star. Conor won that fight. RDA pulled out of the fight. Nate Diaz came in and took the moment. That fight did 1.6 million views, or 1.6 million pay-per-view buys.
Hold on a second. So after UFC 194, that's when Aldo and McGregor fought. December 12th, 2015. March 5th, 2016, McGregor is supposed to fight RDA. Because of injury, Diaz steps in. Okay, continue.
So Diaz was never... Okay, Nick Diaz was the star of the brothers. Because of Conor McGregor, in taking that fight, I would say that Nate Diaz is more well-known now because he shared the ring with McGregor. He beat McGregor in a huge moment. One that I cry about every night still. And so we wouldn't see, when I said Masvidal in the future, Nate Diaz headlined a pay-per-view with Masvidal because McGregor. It was just, it sucks because, there wouldn't be superstars to this magnitude, I don't think, yet, if it wasn't for Conor winning.
So because of Conor saying, I don't even care about weight, man. I'll fight anybody at any weight. He went from 145 to 170. People forget that. He jumped 25 pounds, 2 weight divisions, to take on Nate Diaz because he thought that was the funnest and most exciting fight on short notice. I think it was 2 weeks' notice.
Yeah.
At the time.
And Nate is not a big, small guy.
No. So Nate Diaz, people knew who he was because he had the Diaz name, but he always was in the shadow of Nick. He was not a superstar. I don't even think he had headline shows at that point. I could be wrong, but I don't.
He fought Benson Henderson for the title.
Okay.
He's main evented a couple fight nights. That's about it.
He wasn't a superstar. Let's put it that way. So he fights Conor. He gets the Conor McGregor rub just for getting that fight, and then guess what? He pulls off a massive upset, wins the fight on short notice, becomes a superstar overnight. And Nick Diaz is still a star. Like, if Nick Diaz comes back today, people tune in to watch that. But he is not the star that Nate is.
Absolutely not. And going from there, this would have been so much that's changed. I think the biggest thing we take away from this was there wouldn't be champ. Another thing is we would not have the McGregor versus Mayweather fight. And where would McGregor go from here if he was to lose? Because we'd probably know he wouldn't have gone back to 145. He already won the division there. He has a better chance to go into lightweight. Even though it was an interim, he could have still been a champ in the future. Not as likely.
Where would have Conor have gone if he didn't fight Floyd?
If Conor lost the fight, we haven't talked about it. What if he would have lost? Where would he have went? Because I don't think he would have went to 145.
I don't think he could have made 145 again. So if Conor loses this fight, he's already been champion, like we said, interim champion. But then again, he's still a champion. He would move up to 155, and he would likely work his way up to a title shot after 1 or 2 solid wins.
Absolutely. I think he would have, in the future, been a contender for top 5, but I don't think he ever would have won the belt in this case.
But back to Jose Aldo, who this whole thing is about. If Jose moves up to 155 after he beats Conor, in my opinion, the Jose that was the dominant champion for 10 years that hadn't been beaten in 10 years, I think that Jose beats RDA.
Wait, say that again for the people that say he's a bum.
The man
10 years? How many years?
10 years went undefeated in one of the most stacked divisions in the sport.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think it's a tough fight for him, but I would take Aldo to win that fight.
Versus RDA?
Yes.
Absolutely. I think he's a bad matchup. He wouldn't get him down. He couldn't outstrike Aldo. His takedown defense is amazing, and I don't see him outstriking Aldo. So
if he wins that fight, we're talking about top 2 or 3 ever to do it if he won that fight.
But not money to the UFC, and that's what it comes down to. So the UFC was just so happy with how it all worked out, for sure.
But Conor McGregor winning that fight against Jose Aldo opened the doors for not just himself, everybody in the world of mixed martial arts.
Absolutely, we agree on that. And is there anything else you'd like to cover from there?
That fight still bothers me, man. Everyone knows I'm a massive Conor fan, but I was a massive Aldo fan before I was a Conor fan. But I love them both.
And you were shocked.
My goodness. Crazy. If you guys have any other what-if scenarios, please drop us a comment. Send Brady a tweet, message me on Instagram. Let us know, because we want to know what you want to see. We have a bunch of other concepts in mind. We're going to keep going with them, but we'd love to hear your ideas as well. What do you got? Anything else to say, Brady?
Yeah, like, subscribe, keep letting us grow, and we take it over. All right.
Hold up.